right, there we are. Hello, it is Wednesday again. My name is Carlos Navia. This is the Wednesday weekly learning session for local bartending school. I do this every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. 6 p.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. Pacific time. If you follow local bartending school on Facebook, you are always welcome to join me. For students that are already enrolled, there is one link that'll take you right through to this. If you're not enrolled in local bartending school, there is another link. They will ask you for a little bit of information, and then they will give you the link into this Zoom call. So I've been a professional bartender for 20 plus years in several different states. I've been training bartenders for local bartending school since I think about 2012, so almost 9 years now. So I do this every week, do a lot of one-on-ones as well. Always try to kind of come up with a different topic, something to talk about each week. Today, easy, obvious topic. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. One of the big, drinking days that we have, every year. So St. Patrick's Day, March 17th every year, celebrates the death of St. Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland, died in 461. Irish have been celebrating it, for thousands of years. St. Patrick was actually born in Great Britain. He was taken to Ireland as a slave when he was 16. He ended up escaping, then returning to Ireland, and is credited with bringing Christianity to Ireland. And don't say more than that. Remember, we don't talk about politics. We don't talk about religion. That's about as far as you could go, just stating a fact. So I put a note there. We say no more. We go, no further than that. You start talking about religion, you're going to basically alienate half the people in the room. Just that fastly, or just that quickly, I should say. There are more than 100 parades here in the United States. The first actual parade was not done in Ireland. It was done in what is now St. Augustine, Florida in 1601. Some places like Chicago have a tradition like this. They turn the river green on St. Patrick's Day and have a completely green river. People go out there and boat on. That looks kind of fun. And different places have some different traditions and stuff that they do. I was very curious. What do leprechauns have to do with the whole thing? So I had to kind of see the Leprechaun Association to St. Patrick's Day. And, old Celtic folklore, they believed in different kinds of fairies and magical beings. Leprechaun means small-bodied fellow. So they're little short guys, and they were fairies. They had magical powers. I lost where I was. They were thought to be kind of sneaky and tricky, and played tricks when it came to hiding or defending their legendary pot of gold or big stash of wealth. And they kind of seem to have a bad disposition. They always seem to kind of come off grumpy, and that might be because part of their duties are mending the footwear of the other fairies, and that would put me in a grumpy mood as well. So maybe that's part of why they get a little grumpy and stuff like that. When it comes to Irish drinks and stuff that we do on St. Patrick's Day. This one is very cool. If I can find the right tab. Very cool layered shot that you can do. Looks like this, called an Irish flag. Green creme de menthe on the bottom, Bailey's in the middle, and Grand Marnier on top, which is French and not Irish, but it looks very cool. This is the colors of the Irish flag, the green, white, and gold. So pretty cool one you can do as well. Also, gonna have a lot of Guinness drinkers that are coming by, especially on a day like St. Patrick's Day. And just trying not to get that commercial on here. So proper way to pour a Guinness, just like this. And this girl does a great job. And then top it off by pushing it back. Perfect. And serve it. And she does a couple things I like there specifically. Number one thing she does is Guinness should not come in a cold glass. It should come in a room temperature glass always. So she serves it in a room temperature glass. And notice she looks at the glass to make sure it's clean. to make sure there's nothing on it, to make sure there's nothing in there. That's a nice touch and something that I picked up on there. The other thing is how you finish it off by pushing that handle just a little bit backwards and not opening it up completely. That's the way to pour a proper Guinness. If you do have Guinness, where you work at, proper way to do it right there. I'm going to get to the other thing. There's the notes. The other thing about St. Patrick's Day is it is right up there with New Year's Eve for rookie nights and just, people that don't know how to handle their alcohol. St. Patrick's Day and New Year's Eve, the two biggest nights where people that don't drink every day or don't drink very often are going to go out and have cocktails and they don't know their limits. So you really do got to pay attention, and be careful. We want everybody to be safe. We don't want anyone to get hurt or have any problems. Also, since it falls on a Thursday this year, I have a feeling that a lot of people might try to take the party all the way through the weekend. I'm going to be gone, so I don't know if that will be happening where I live, but I bet, next to the college I live at, that's going to be much the case. They also go into spring break, so I think it's going to be some pretty big parties here. But don't be surprised if there's people going Friday, Saturday, still going hard from Thursday night, because it does kind of set up that way. People won't know their limits, so be aware, pay attention. Don't be afraid to cut people off. It's really easy to do. The truth is most people take it very well. Offer them something non-alcoholic, offer them some food, make sure they're getting a ride home. But most people won't freak out about it. If someone calls me on a Friday night, asks me to go out, and the last image they have of me is me getting kicked out of a bar going, I can't believe that you kicked me out of this bar. That's embarrassing. Next Friday night comes around, those people aren't going to call me. They don't want to hang out with me. I'm an embarrassment to be around. So most people will take it very well. That's fine. They'll go to another bar. They'll go home if they want to keep drinking, but you're protecting yourself. So make sure you're cutting them off. Get a manager if you're going to cut someone off. Let them know and let the whole staff know. We don't keep it a secret. Guy in the green shirt, which could be hard to identify in St. Patrick's Day. There'll be a lot of guys in the green shirt, but hey, guy over there or girl over there, she's had enough, and make sure all the servers, all the other bartenders know so that the drink doesn't find their way to that person. And, if the person gets upset about being cut off and is being very belligerent, probably should have been cut off a little bit earlier. That's kind of on us if we let someone get to that point to where they're just belligerent and they're not being reasonable, and they're not accepting stuff. And, if someone's really being that bad, once again, get a manager first, have the manager right there to have your back, should that person not want to accept it or get testy. That's their job, to be there and back you up. Remember that there are different factors to how fast, people get intoxicated, depending on how big they are, their body mass, how much water is in your system. Women get drunk faster than men because they have less water in their bodies. The water dilutes the alcohol. It brings down your blood alcohol concentration. Tolerance, some people can handle 5 drinks. My mom is referred to as one beer Barb because that's her limit, 1 beer. So, people have different limits. People have different tolerances. Whether or not you have food in your stomach, and, the food really doesn't absorb the alcohol. All it's doing is cutting off the passage to your lower intestines. Your lower intestines is where most of the alcohol is absorbed into your bloodstream and processed. You put food in your stomach, your body cuts that off. It wants the enzymes and acids in your stomach and your upper intestines to digest the food before it gets that low, slows the process of absorption into your body. Here's the thing. Your body's still going to absorb it all. You're still going to get really drunk. You're just slowing down the process. That's all. Once you put it in your system, there's only 2 ways out. It goes in, it's absorbed, it's processed, and it comes out through bodily fluids, or the other way, it comes out the way it came in. Only 2 ways it's going. So once it's in there, you're going to feel all the effects. The alcohol is just slowing it down. Weather, people out in the sunshine and the heat can really have an effect on people, especially if they're not used to it, or if they're not used to the certain climate and, in a certain area. We get it all the time at the beach in Florida. People, I drink a 12-pack in my backyard in Missouri every day. Well, that's not the same as drinking it in the Florida sunshine. I'm from the desert in California. I work at a place called Las Cosuelas Terraza. Serves these very large 25-ounce margaritas. During the summer season, it would be about once a week that someone would drink one and just pass out and just fall on the patio. It's kind of sad, but it literally happens so many times that we would not even have to explain to 911 why we were calling. They would see the number. We'd go, it happened again. They'd go, we're sending an ambulance. And that was it. That was all we had to say because it was that frequent and it was that common. And people aren't just, aren't used to that sun and that heat and that much tequila. Bam, hits them really quick and they fall over. So the weather can play, a part in it as well. Exhaustion. If people are tired, they're going to get drunk faster. They're going to feel effects faster. I don't know the actual science behind that one, but it does work that way. So that's another factor that can play into it. Mental state can play into it as well. We really don't know what's going through people's heads. So be aware, keep an eye on them because that plays into it as well. And then, of course, we don't know what's in their system that's over the counter prescribed for recreation. And that's the big factor right there. When you start putting different kinds of drugs on top of each other, it's not doubling the effects, it's quadrupling, it's exponential. So, people are combining a lot of things and a lot of stuff that's over the counter now, is pretty strong and pretty powerful. I'm a lightweight. You give me 2 Dayquil, I'm walking around just, woo, hey, everybody. That's just me, so be aware, I've had situations come up where people, went to the bathroom and kind of returned a little different, noticeably different attitude. So, be aware. We really don't know what's in people's systems. So be aware of that. What are the signs? What are we looking for? What are we looking for? The signs of intoxication that we're going to, start to cut people off. First thing, they will complain that they don't taste alcohol in their drinks. They'll say their drinks are weak. We practice our pour. We know we're hitting the right mark every time, that we're putting the same amount in, every drink for that person. Eventually, your tongue kind of gets pickled and you really don't taste the alcohol. Kind of all you taste is alcohol. So when you drink your drink, you really don't taste the alcohol in it. Boom, first warning sign there. That person's probably about their limit or reaching their limit. Slurred speech. Your tongue swells. That's where all your taste buds are as well. It swells up, according to Cathedral City Police, that were friends. They were not arresting me. I've had many conversations with police. I could do a whole class on DUIs, sadly. I had many conversations with different police about DUIs and some of the misconceptions and ways they go down. So slurred speech, your tongue swells up. You can't talk right. You start to slur your speech. Volume control of their voice. Drunks like to get loud and talk over everybody else. They've got something to say and everybody's going to hear it, whether it's something worth hearing or not. So that's another sign as well. Loss of balance. They'll start to get tipsy. They'll start to be stumbly. And, the other thing you kind of got to look out when it comes to loss of balance is people that drink tonic water. So, tonic water, soda water is just bubbles, infused into water. Tonic water has sugar and has a chemical in it called quinine, the Q. On old school bar guns, I don't see it a lot anymore. There's one in this town, but it's because they've had the same bar guns since the 50s. Old school bar guns, T was for Diet Cola, Q was for tonic. The original Diet Cola was called Tab, T-A-B. Before Diet Coke, it was the original Diet Cola. So T stood for Tab, that was your Diet Cola. Q stood for quinine, that was your tonic. Most guns nowadays, you got a T for tonic, you got a button that just says diet on it. Really easy, simplified it there. Here's the thing with quinine though. Quinine is a chemical and it'll get into your inner ear. So in either ear, you have 2 pockets of fluid. They act kind of like a level. It seems like a level that you get from the hardware store where the bubble moves back and forth. It's the same thing these 2 pockets of fluid do in your ear. And they control the equilibrium for your entire body. Quinine gets into your inner ear and affects those 2 pockets of fluid. People that drink gin and tonics and vodka tonics will lose their balance faster than other patrons because of the effects on the quinine in their inner ear. And it's really funny if you look for it, because you can kind of see it about gin and tonic, vodka tonic, about 4. They start to get just a little sway. and it's just a little sway because they can't really tell where's level, where the floor is. I have a student that actually lives right where I used to live in Florida. I was telling her that, and she immediately laughed because she said she has a certain patron that they thought was on drugs or drunk when she came in, because she kind of comes in a little bit all over the place. And that's what happens. If you drink tonic water every day, you have a constant stream of quinine in your bloodstream, in your system. At some point, you have no idea that you're even walking like this, because every day becomes just getting off the boat to you. So watch out for tonic drinkers, because they will lose their balance because the effects of quinine on your inner ear. Loss of balance. And then my favorite category of the person that is probably done and ready to be cut off. People that are just bothering other customers that are minding their own business. I brought this up before, and I think it's funny because I found this article that categorized the different annoying people. The unwanted, which is the person that is making unwanted advances towards someone they are attracted to. Generally, it's guys more than ladies, but it does go both ways. I have seen it definitely go both ways. If the person's feeling uncomfortable, especially if they're looking over at you like, hey, can you get this person out of here? Or every once in a while, you'll get the wave. Excuse me, can you get him? Like, hey, that guy's not with you. No, that guy is not with us. If you have to intervene, you don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable in there. You want everybody to, be able to have a good time and relax and enjoy themselves. So if you do have to intervene and kind of try to be nice about it, try to be tactful, but if someone's making another patron uncomfortable, you do have to kind of step in and take control there. Second one, the third wheel. This happens when generally an elder patron kind of logs themselves in with a younger couple. And, maybe they'll sit at the bar, the older patron buys the younger couple a couple drinks, and before you know it, they're now part of that date. Really easy way to help out the couple in that situation if you notice it happening. You just got to distract the third wheel. Start asking them about something, start engaging the third wheel, and it gives the couple a chance to go, hey, thank you for the drink, get up and walk away and get out of that situation. So that's how to handle them. The third one, the lobbyist. And I think we've all probably seen this person in, not necessarily a bar, but in some facet of society. The person that is just intent on talking about politics and getting into some kind of debate with somebody that they just can't stop, and they refuse to stop. I had some folks that have a bowling alley up in North Dakota and ended up buying the bar attached to it. And they told me this story. This is a very extreme version of this character. Guy came in, shaved head, he's got swastikas on. He's doing Heil Hitlers in the middle of the bar and keeps going from patron to patron, trying to engage them in this, white supremacy talk. And they were like, what do we do with that situation? Because he wasn't taking a hint. Even when people were like, I'm not having this conversation with him, he wouldn't stop. He just kept going, in that situation. And once again, this is a very extreme example of this type of character. Step in, do something. If that person is upsetting everybody else, it is your job, or a manager, get the manager on duty to step in and just let them know, hey, this is not the place for that conversation. If you want to hang out here, have a good time, relax, you're more than welcome to hang out. But if you are intent on having this conversation, this is not the place. You need to take it someplace else. And if they keep going, ask them to leave. I say ask them to leave. Be nice about it. I can't say I've always asked everybody nicely, hey, I think it's time for you to go. I can't say I've always done it like that. There are some get out. But then you just got to get them out. You can't have that one person in there just creating a bad environment, an uncomfortable environment for everybody else and destroying their good time. Get that bad apple out, get that person out. If they won't listen to reason, get rid of them. You're losing more money by them running people off than that one person's going to spend in your bar. The bigot, number 4. And this, I lost of words for a second. I get it. The alcohol makes people not think. makes people kind of run their mouths, makes them a little comfortable, makes them a little loose-lipped. But there's no place for racist talk, talking about anybody's religion, creed, anything like that. There's just no place for it. The bar should be a place where everybody can come and have a good time and relax and enjoy themselves. I've run into this character a time or two, in my days. One particular guy I can think of in Destin, Florida, and I don't even think he realized the racial slur that slipped out of his mouth. But I stopped and I took him to the side and I said, if you ever say that in here again, it will be the last day you come in. And he was like, what? Because he didn't even realize he said it. I said, that's what you said. And you need to recognize that. And that is not appropriate. And he apologized, never did it again. He was a very cool customer. He just kind of slipped. So, you got to squash that stuff. You got to stop it. You can't have that character in there. Once again, upsetting other people. Everybody should be able to come, have a good time and enjoy themselves. And the last one, of course, the regular. That person that comes into the bar 5 or 6 nights a week, the regular, tips you good, spends a lot, and feels like because of that, the rules do not apply to them. And that's unfortunate because the rules do still apply to them and everybody else. They're in place for a reason. Just because come here 5-6 days a week does not give you free run of the place to do whatever you want to do, does not give you special privilege. That person, once again, you want to be tactful. I'm not trying to run off someone that spends money in there 5 or 6 days a week and tips you good, of course, but you do have to say no to them sometimes and tell them, no, you can't do that. And, just remember you're in control. Being a bartender, I like to say this takes confidence right up to the point of arrogance. And it's a very fine line. You are the captain. You are in control of the ship because you got the booze and you control the booze. And if they don't like that, there's the door. So once again, be more tactful than that with your good regulars. But, hey, look, you can't do that. I know you come here 7 nights a week, but the rules still apply to people that come here 1 night a week and people that come here 7 nights a week. So I can't let you do that, man. You know the rules. Those are the rules. Be reasonable with them. And most people will be very, very cool. Take it very cool. So keep an eye on people. We want everybody to have a safe weekend. Make sure they're getting in cabs. They're getting in Ubers. They're getting the lifts. No one's driving home. It is very, very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate to know how many people are going to be killed in DUIs tomorrow night already. That it's a statistic every year. So don't be one of them. Be safe, take care of yourself, and make sure you're being responsible. So when I did used to live in Destin, Florida, we used to go to this bar. We had our Irish bar in our town there called McGuire's. There's one in Pensacola, Florida. There's one in Destin, Florida. It is a very, very cool, very funky place. We'd go there a lot because they serve food late and you can only eat so many Whataburgers or Sonic cheeseburgers or, things like that. One of the cool things they have is, if I can get this picture open, is that people have stapled dollar bills basically from floor to ceiling and across the entire bar. So there are literally millions of dollars. There's about an estimated $5 million in each of the locations, one in Pensacola, one in Destin. The reason that we know that there is an estimated $5 million is because about 10 years ago, the IRS showed up. And the IRS told them that since those dollars were in their possession, that was technically income and that they owe taxes on every dollar hanging in both of their bars. And they had to contract some people to come in and estimate how many dollar bills that was. Understand, these are large places with 4 or 5 big rooms like this. I thought that was pretty funny, but it really happened. The poor owners were stuck with a very large bill and unfortunately put in the situation of, do we take them all down and stop this tradition? Or do we just accept the fact that we're going to get taxed on this every year? And they said, you know what? It's part of the charm. It's part of this place. It's been a tradition. So now once a year, those same people have to come back in, estimate how many more dollar bills are on the roof, and they have to pay the taxes on the additional dollars that have been posted up there for that year. So I thought that was pretty hilarious. But they make a drink there, and they make a fun drink there called an Irish wake. Yes, like when you view a body before a funeral, that type of wake, it is an Irish wake. I was looking it up, and I was Googling it, and I was hoping to find, let me open the right window, the recipe of how they make it. I was even thinking about, calling some people down in Destin area out in Florida and seeing if maybe they knew the recipe, when lo and behold, I came by, and if I can hit the right button to get back to my Zoom meeting, I actually came by a video of a guy making it. And I don't know if the sound's going to come through. We'll give it a go and see if we can get the sound on Wires Bartender making the Irish wake. I don't think it has the sound on it, does it? Basically, he's going to put rum, blue curacao, and something else in there. I forgot to write it down in here. 2 ounces of each. I'm still going to let the video play because there's one thing about this video I really want to point out. And that's, notice how crappy those posifors pour. Those things suck. Fresh orange juice. Red and a green cherry in there. That's your Irish wake. I don't know why I couldn't get the sound to play. My zooming skills are not great yet. So he's putting 2 types of rum in there, blue curacao, 2 ounces of each, and just fresh squeezed orange juice. I noticed he's got those posipore pours on there, and you can kind of see how they really don't all start and stop at the same time, even when he hits it, just right like that. I think those things suck. But Irish wake, fun drink, good drink. The recipe's online too. There's a bunch of places. Just put it in Google, Irish wake. A lot of people got it on there. But they make it with that fresh orange juice. It is delicious. They will only serve you 3 of them. They have a 3 limit. At your 4th Irish wake, you might end up as an Irish wake. And if you know Irish Catholic wakes, there's a lot of alcohol involved. Much like that cocktail, there's a lot of alcohol involved in an Irish Catholic wake. So, it's really easy to do your green beer. You take your food coloring, a couple drops of food coloring in green beer, not too hard. Know this, if you are making green beer using green food coloring, you're going to have green fingers by the end of the night. Just accept the fact that you will be part leprechaun by the end of the day when you go home. But I wanted to try, a couple other ideas that I saw. I'm not going to do this one, but I thought this shot was kind of interesting and good. Equal parts, just a half ounce of Irish whiskey, Bailey's Irish cream, and then Midori melon liqueur. Shake it up, into your small shot glass like this. They called it a shamrock shooter. Nice kind of little green hue, a little bit of creaminess to it. Little whiskey, little melon, little Irish cream. Kind of like that one. This one I really did like, the Irish Maid. So let's go with the Irish Maid and see what we can do here and see where my ingredients are going to take me. So do our Irish Maid. We're going to cut off a couple slices of cucumber. We're going to drop those down in that glass there to muddle. I'm also going to use some fresh lemon juice. And what I'm going to do is just chop up half this lemon. And I'll go ahead and just put half this lemon in there. I'll muddle it up there with my cucumbers when I'm doing my cucumbers. And then I'm also going to do a little bit of simple syrup, about a half ounce of simple syrup in here. All muddled in. All right. So I'm going to give this a nice muddle because I'm going to double strain it. So I'm going to take all this stuff out, and none of these seeds or pieces or anything are going to end up in my actual cocktail. All right, I'm going to come back to some ice in here. Find my ice. All right, put my ice in there. And then, of course, gonna need some whiskey. So once again, this is just colored water I'm using. We're not really wasting any booze here. So you'd use Irish whiskey, something like Jameson's. You know, you could do your Bushmills. Tullamore Dew is good. Proper 12, I think, is Conor McGregor's. I haven't tried that one, but I've heard it's very good. So we'll do 2 ounces of that. And we're also going to do a little bit of elderflower liqueur, like Saint Germain. Like I said, I cannot go a week without finding a recipe that uses a little Saint Germain, a little elderflower liqueur. We'll just throw a little half ounce of that in there. And got our simple syrup, got everything in there. Let's go ahead, get this one rocking. Pop my glass in there, give it a nice good shake. Get my popped it in there and not splash on myself too much. Get it diluted. A little bit splashing out. And, you know, and that's why we always come back towards ourselves, not at the customers. If it does splash, it's going to splash me. It's not going to splash anybody else. So let's get a fresh glass here, grab some fresh ice for this. There we go. And we'll get a nice double strain in here to get everything out. All right, and we have a couple straws. Good straw there. Give it a nice little garnish. Cucumber like this, and we have our Irish Maid. There we go. Little whiskey, little elderflower, some cucumber, some fresh lemon juice, some sugar. Boom, on the rocks. Nice green color, ready to go with a little green garnish there. All right, we'll stick you off to the side. Try something else. Okay, still got time. This one seemed really simple, yet at the same time, sometimes, you know, I feel like stuff that's simple can still be good. Everything doesn't have to be so elaborate. Everything doesn't have to be Iron Chefs, you know, and be super crazy and super hard to do. So this one, a vodka limeade. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Sonic fast food restaurants. They make a bunch of different limeades. That's what I think of every time I hear limeade. But we can do this one really easy. Let me grab a Collins glass and check my notes. So start by kind of shaking this stuff up, get going. Get closer. Throw some ice in my mixing tin. Not too full there. And we'll start with our vodka. Go ahead and do 1.5 ounces of vodka. 4, 5, 6. Hit the table, nice. And then we're going to do triple sec or orange liqueur. I've got my Cointreau here. I don't have a pour spout, so I'll measure this one 1/2 ounce of that. Got my 1.5 ounces of vodka. I've got my orange liqueur in there. We're going to go ahead and do some fresh lime juice. So squeeze half a lime in there. So we got 1/2 ounce of fresh lime juice to make our limeade. And then we also need some sugar to make our limeade sweet. So we'll put about 1/2 ounce of simple syrup in there as well. All right, get a fresh pint glass. Don't break anything. All right. Pop that in there, lock it up, get that nice good shake, get that all mixed in. Then we'll get some fresh ice here in our Collins glass and our nice tall glass. Go. Our vodka, our orange liqueur, our limeade, our lime juice, and our simple syrup. I'll just top it off here with some club soda. We have our vodka limeade. You know, the website I saw this on suggested making like a big pull-up punch for a party. So I kind of amended the recipe so it could be done pretty easily in a bar, you know, with ingredients you got in a bar right there. Bam. And you got your vodka limeade ready to go. Nice and refreshing, perfect drink for St. Patty's Day. Now I got at least one or two more here. Let's go for another one. This one's pretty easy. This one's pretty easy but fun. A little soda for me as well. All right, Shamrock Sour. So, you know, just like making a regular sour drink, we're just going to make it here kind of, you know, make our sour kind of from scratch here. So let me get some ice here into my handy dandy cup. Like that. Then we'll go, once again, Irish whiskey would be the order of the day in a lot of cocktails. We'll do 2 ounces of our Irish whiskey here, our faux Irish whiskey. So, then we're also going to go with just about half an ounce of fresh lemon juice. So I'm going to cut this lemon. You'll see I take the nubs off the end of them when I'm using the squeezer. It just gets a better squeeze. It doesn't have that little nub sticking up. Sometimes if you have that little nub sticking up, this can kind of hit it, fold the piece of fruit in half, whereas it kind of comes down flat and nice on the top when you have that cut off. All right, so I got my half ounce of fresh lemon juice. I'm also going to do half ounce here of fresh lime juice. I'm going to do an ounce of simple syrup so that I'm making my sour mix. Basically, you're making your own sweet and sour mix, the lemon juice, the lime juice, and the simple syrup. Go. And then the secret ingredient, just about 2 drops of this food color. Just a little drop. That's a big drop. Come on. That's it. 1 drop in there. Should be plenty. We'll grab our handy dandy bar spoon. We'll give this a nice stir. Get our nice green color going there. All right. We get a fresh bucket glass here with some fresh ice in it. All right, equipment issue here. Equipment malfunction. All right, got fresh ice here. Pour it over. There it is. All right, give it a nice little lemon wheel here on the side. And we have our Shamrock Sour. You know, basically just like a whiskey sour. Use an Irish whiskey, little green food color in there to give it a nice green color and make it kind of fun. So, all right, do one more that I liked. Now, this one, I almost feel like this is kind of almost like a little bit of a Long Island-y kind of take that they had here. So, gonna grab my mixing tin, gonna grab my ice. So this one's called Shamrock Juice, what they named it. So what we do is half an ounce of gin, and this is just water, so just gonna use our clear stuff. Then we do half an ounce of clear tequila, half an ounce of light rum, half an ounce of vodka. So we're pretty much up to our Long Island recipe without the orange liqueur at this point. But we are gonna use some blue curacao in this one, which is gonna give us you know, basically complete the 5 liquors that would go on a Long Island. The difference is in this one, we're going to use some fresh squeezed orange juice from my neighbor's tree because I have plenty of fresh oranges and I need to get rid of some of them. So I was inspired by the McGuire's video to squeeze my own fresh orange juice today. One more half of these should be enough. There we Pour some of that in there. That should be good. All right. I'm going to give it a quick shake, get that mixed up. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and put an ounce of my blue curacao at the bottom before I even put the ice in. Then I'm going to throw my ice in, fill it up. There we go. And then pour this into the glass over the blue curacao. Just like that. So got a nice kind of cool blue-green effect as it turns green. We will give it a little garnish here. Give it a nice flag here. We'll get a cherry. Give it a flag with an umbrella. And compliment. So when I say a flag, just mean we're going through the cherry, we're going into another piece of fruit like an orange or a pineapple. So let's set up. There we go. And we have our shamrock juice ready to go, ready to rock and roll. Beware, like a Long Island. You got 5 different liquors in there. It's a lot of alcohol. It's definitely going to be strong. It's definitely going to get people loaded. So, you know, do beware if you got people drinking the strong stuff like that. People are going to go big tomorrow. You know, it's been 2 years of being cooped up. You know, for a lot of people haven't had a chance to get out, you know, enjoy stuff like St. Patrick's Day like they have in the past. So beware, there's going to be a lot of people out. There's going to be a lot of people going big tomorrow. Make sure you're being safe and, you know, looking out for your folks, looking out for your customers and your clients. All right. Any questions about anything?
Is the recipe for that Long Island, will it be online? Because I can't find it in my little list.
I'm trying to see. Let's see if I can find it.
Well, if it is, I'll find it. Just head.
I think I have the link open still. Wait.
Liquor.com didn't have it either.
There it is. Mix That Drink is the website. And actually, I can put it up here real quick. Copy. How do I copy?
Dude, I got to try that.
No. Highlight the whole thing. I am the worst with computers. Copy. Okay, I got it. There it is. I put the link to it right there.
Great. All right. Thanks.
That's where I found it at. Yeah, fun drink, cool effect of that kind of blue curacao at the bottom, you know, as you pour it in there. Gives it a cool effect, cool green color at the end. Like I said, just beware, lots of alcohol in there. Too many of those, and you're going to have a short night. You're not going to make it all night long. Any more questions about anything?
No.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Have a very safe, St. Patrick's Day. I will not be here next Wednesday. I will be in Belize on vacation, relaxing with a tropical rum drink in my hand. But I will see you in 2 weeks and maybe have some pictures or cool bar stories from Belize to talk about and have some fun. Otherwise, have a good 2 weeks. Stay safe. Thank you. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Have fun.
Thanks, buddy.